Live from First Street Studios in South Tampa, Florida. It's time for another round of Last Call. Hey, welcome back to Last Call. We're back in the studio today here at First Street Studios in South Tampa, Florida. I got my buddy Jay with me here. We're going to run down a pretty much sports show this season, and we're going to talk about a lot of things that are going on here in Tampa, talk about some World Series stuff. What do you got to say, Jay? What do you think?
Man, we've been doing this a long time. We've known each other about 11 years now, and we've worked before in other previous outlets, but this is next level here. The whole studio, the setup. We got a lot of sports to talk about today. Him and I talk sports so many times on the phone, on Facebook. Man, we're going to entertain you. We're going to give you sports talk that you won't get anywhere else.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting that we need to tell the crowd here, too, that watches our show, I think we got quite a few members now, and we had an NBC sports show, did some ESPN stuff. Jay also does commentary for the UFC, you know, as far as pressers, right, press releases and stuff like that. So we got a lot of experience, but we really want to get together and break this down. So now we're just going to go ahead and move into the show. So what do you got for me?
Well, you know, we got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man, off to a great start in the season. I'm going to readily admit to you, Dan, when they signed Baker Mayfield, he had a tall task in hand. Replacing Tom Brady wasn't going to be easy no matter who they brought in. And Baker was his last stand. I mean, he didn't work out in Cleveland. No, he did lead the Browns to the playoffs. Had a failure of an experiment in Carolina. This was it for him. He came in, though, and you told me, I said, look, this guy's not it. You're replacing, I used a more colorful term, but I said you're replacing a Porsche with a dump truck. Well, you said just wait, just listen. I've been seeing him firsthand, and so far so good. I mean, the Bucs coming off a loss last week, but I can only say so far in the season it's been a success so far, and Mayfield's looking like he's got a new lease on life.
Yeah, I think when I was at training camp watching it, you could see that he felt at home. So, you know, he became a part of the team real fast. He's also I think it's his kind of crowd. It's like his new start on life. And, you know, for the Panthers, it didn't go so well. Obviously, in Cleveland. But a little bit of a spurt, I guess, that he had there. The Rams came in there at the end and won the game, or started that game and won that game, right? But we've won the games we were supposed to win so far. And we've lost the games we're supposed to lose. That's why the NFL builds a schedule like that, right?
Absolutely.
So the big surprise is Detroit. I figured we would have lost to the Eagles. But overall, I was hoping for a Detroit win, but Detroit's strong. They drafted well. They're powered up. And, you know, to be honest with you, I got them at number one in the power rankings in the NFC. What do you think?
It's hard to go against that. I mean, they've got a great defense. They've got one of the best offensive lines in the league. You want to talk about quarterbacks that have revitalized their career. Jared Goff, a former number one overall pick, was absolutely just tearing up the league with the Rams and had that terrible Super Bowl against New England. I mean, and that was a lot of Brian Flores in that defense. Wrecked his confidence. They traded him. But he's got this new lease on life, and they've got two great wide receivers there, Amon St. Brown. I know they got Jamison Williams coming back. I mean, this team looks like they have very little weaknesses. And who'd have thought we'd live to see the day, Dan? The Detroit Lions, the best team in the National Football League. But I'm telling you, though, we talked about the Bucs. I think last week was a learning experience because you can be the bat so many times, but eventually you're going to have to be the ball to see the battle. I mean, you know it from your own background.
Yeah, I think the big thing that we're looking at, though, right now is we have Tampa Bay. That was a shocker. They're not supposed to be in first place, but they're outright first. But even if they lose to Atlanta, no blood, no foul. But my big concern is coming off of a loss to Atlanta would be detrimental because now they got to go play Buffalo on a short week in, you know, New York. So that's not going to end so well up there if we lose that one as well. So then we're going to have a 2-game swing right off the jump street, you know. So fortunately, the Saints lost again. So hopefully that works out for us tomorrow at the game. We'll go check it out. But I almost feel it's a must win.
I do too. We're going to break that down here also here on for Last Call 76. I call it front row because we are the front row in sports.
You're right. Yeah.
You know, we're going to break that down and we're going to be there live and in living color talking about it. We'll give you a little bit of rundown about that. But it is a must win because you don't want to go into Buffalo coming off a loss anyway. You certainly don't want to go in there losing 2 straight. Look, the Falcons, another team, and we're going to talk more about them in depth in the next video. They've got a little bit of fire to them as well. And this could be, dare I say, for the division because let's look at what else is in there. You know, the Saints are looking to be a mess. Carolina, well, they're a mess, with all due respect. I know they're in the rebuilding process. Bryce Young, Frank Reich, the new staff there. This could really be who takes control of the division early on, and you want to get that momentum going in, even though it's October. Like, you grab the bull by the horns now and run with it, and this is a very big game for, I think, both teams.
It is, and then you also got to look at Dallas. You know they're coming on. It's just a matter of time.
Right.
So they're going to take the 5th, 6th seed, potentially the 7th, depending on how Atlanta, Tampa does. If they get a lot of wins, next thing you know, Dallas is fighting for their life. But fortunately for Dallas right now, the Eagles is it. Even though the Commanders have come on a little bit.
Yeah.
But arguably so, it's Philadelphia and Dallas.
Right.
So a lot of this is going to pan out. And fortunately for Dallas right now, with their 2 losses that they had, well, they got lucky because Minnesota's not playing up.
Right.
So, but the scary team for me right now is the Rams. They are actually catching a wind right now with Cooper coming back.
And then that Puka Nacua, the rookie out of BYU, 4th-round draft pick.
Who would have thought of that?
It's the guy that runs routes to kill for, but he didn't put up this kind of productivity in BYU in college. And he just gets in there, and it's given Matthew Stafford a whole lease on life. The fact that they're still competitive and still very much, and not only, I'm going to say the playoff hunt because I think that's San Francisco's division to lose. I think they're the head of the class.
Yes.
If not in the division, the whole NFL at this point. They're the most complete team. But if you'd have told me at this point the Rams were in playoff contention without Cooper Kupp, and I mean, look, they did a running back change midway through the season. Cam Akers sent Adios Amigos out the door, and Kyron Williams, another late round gem. You know, that just goes to show you what a coach Sean McVay is. I think we often, people say he's overhyped and they over embellish how good he really is. I think this year proves it because they're still competing, they're still fighting, and they're a dangerous team, man. They're a team with the Super Bowl experience. They got a lot of vets on there still on both sides of the football. They're going to be one to watch out for.
And I tell you, but Dallas better not go in there half-stepping.
No.
So I think this is a good little cover for what we're talking about, where the show is going to go. But we'll be talking a lot about this. Jay does a lot of high school football commentating as well. That's what last night, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll keep on going. But that's a cut for this one. So thanks for tuning in.